Anybody?
Sheikh, for the sake of the youth, mashallah, there's a lot of youth in our audience today. Can you give them a couple of words of advice on how to, we are Muslims, but at the same time we are Americans, and the two are not exclusive of each other. But we are, we live our lives as Muslims, as Americans, and we appreciate that. But it comes at this stage in their life, especially as they're trying to ascertain their identity. Can you give a couple of words of advice on the two are not conflicting principles and the two are not conflicting concepts, and they should live together? The concept that you are Muslim and American at the same time?
Bismillah. Well, I think if your quest to start with was to be a good Muslim, that should put you in a scale, that should put you on a level, rather, I'm sorry, that forces you to respect everything around you. Whether you like it or not, you live in this world. Whether you like it or not, there are 6.7 billion people in the world. Whether you like it or not, you may go here to the University of Maine. Being a good Muslim automatically should translate into being a good human being. You have responsibilities. I have responsibilities. I have responsibility to my mother and my father. I have a responsibility to the school that I go to. I have a responsibility to the society that I'm part of, to the city that I'm part of, Columbus, Ohio. If anything was to happen to my city, my neighborhood, I would be as touched and affected as anyone else there. So then, for the lack of a better word, basically keeping it real with yourself. The youth of today, or youth at any given time for that matter, could transform the future of the lives of so many millions of people to come. The brothers here and the sisters here, stay in school. Make something of yourself. Get connected to the mission. Respect your elders. Learn, learn, learn. Do not live in a delusional life. When I was 17 years old in high school, a bunch of friends and I wanted to do good things. But because we were so naive and so energetic and wanted to do so many great things for Islam and Muslims, I remember that my friends used to tell me I was going to be, and Brother Matt's back there, him and I had gone to school together in Virginia. They would tell me that I was going to be the king of Azerbaijan. Now, I don't even think I knew where Azerbaijan was at the time. But we had this beautiful life we had built for ourselves. There was going to be this Islamic empire. I was going to be appointed the governor of Azerbaijan. Where is it? I don't even know. And we actually did things to work towards that goal. A couple of years later, when we all saw that was not going to happen, we moved on to do productive things in our lives. There is a theory, there is something that's written on paper, there's something that can only be said, and then there's something that can be done. Contributing to your society means giving a ride to someone who does not have a ride. It does not always mean that you have to try to work for a regime change in a place 10,000 miles away. You have a responsibility to your family here as much as you do to your families and friends and respective countries and cultures 10, 5, 20,000 miles away. So being true to yourself. I know a young man who always speaks to me about the coming of the Islamic Empire in Central Asia. But I see his mother in front of my house every day in the cold, in the rain, in the hot sun, asking others for a ride to the masjid. And it breaks my heart, because here's a young man who neglects the most immediate responsibility of his and wants to fantasize himself and be obsessed with a matter that would happen probably not because of him, but because Allah had promised that it would happen. So, set your priorities right. That's what I would say to myself and to our youth. If you want to help someone, you have got to be someone yourself. If you want to do something for someone, you have got to be able to have something yourself. You want to create a family, work towards it. Work towards it. Words are not going to feed your kids at the end of the night. Rhetoric is not going to feed your family at the end of the night. Chanting slogans is not going to feed your kids at the end of the night. You know what will? A gallon of milk. How do you do that? You work for it. You rely on Allah, you trust on Allah, you stay in school, you do what you can, you help your family. You respect the sacrifice that they have made for you. You are who you are because of someone else, not because you're smarter than the rest of the world. And the world is just not today. You may be a son today, but you will be a father tomorrow. You are a daughter today, you're going to be a mother tomorrow. If you don't do anything for yourself, remember that your kid is precisely going to take the steps that you have taken in life, and he will end up being nobody as well. And above all, pray to Allah to grant you the tawfiq and to do all things great for you. I hope that helps. Jazakumullah khair.
Earlier in your talk, we were talking about the number of one-sided. There's like a point though when like people are gonna like cause harm or trouble with bad stuff that they're saying. So to what extent do you actually like humor them? Like when you actually stand up like clearly against something?
So, the sister's talking about a statement that I made earlier about not being one-sided, and I stand by it. But she said, to what point do you let that slide? Am I getting it right? Well, look, God has given us intellect, has given us our minds. If someone comes home, and it's common sense, this does not require religious